Hello everyone, my name is sanmartinez and welcome to another part of my collection. This collection video is about Assassin's Creed, as I've got a major collection about that one too. Not as enormous as the Bioshock collection, where there is a link in the description, but still it's something worth showing. I'm gonna start off with just the games. I've got them right here. And of course the first one is Assassin's Creed. I didn't buy a collector's edition from this game, as it was in my beginning days of PS3 gaming and I didn't have the money for it, so I skipped out on that. Of course, the game was a bit bland, much repetition, and along came Assassin's Creed 2, which is, I think, the best Assassin's Creed game in my opinion. I had a lot of fun with it, with the upgrading Monteriggioni, the town you could upgrade. And that one came in the white edition and the black edition. Both had a character or a figurine with them. The white edition had a white cloak and the black edition had a black cloak, of course. So I bought the white edition as I had the money. The black edition was sold out, so unfortunately I didn't get that one. I will show all the figurines later in the video. Leave a quick link in the description so you can skip ahead to the figures if you only want to see that one. For now, continue on. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It's the third installment and the second with Ezio. This one did have a collector's edition. It was called the Codex edition, which I also have, and I'm gonna show that right now, as I've got it right here. I'm gonna show the collector's edition along with the game that I have just talked about, so I'm gonna open this box. It's plastic instead of wood. It looks like wood, but it's plastic, so it's not as heavy. First off, you have these cards. Let me show you a couple. Basically, these are all the multiplayer characters you can choose from. As I didn't really enjoy the multiplayer, I didn't really get into it, and never really tried it out really good. However, there is a lot more to show you guys. There is a game soundtrack, and I just found out about this today. As you can see here, there's a real tiny red thingy here which you can pull, and it has a secret bottom. There used to be something in there. I think it was the Codex itself, but as I took it out and put the other things on top of it, it's basically just stays there. There's a bonus DVD. I think this has the, what's it called? I'm not, lineage movie, short movie. Of course, a big ass map of Rome, like we're used to. A couple of art cards from the game. Ezio. And this is what it's all about. It's featured prominently in the game itself. This is the Codex as written by Altair ibn Ahad. As you can see here, it is beautifully illustrated and beautifully written. It also has the original Creed inside of it, and of course some drawings for new hidden blades, fighting techniques, things like that. So that was the Codex edition from Brotherhood. Then the next game in the series, and the third with Ezio as the protagonist, is Assassin's Creed Revelations, and this includes the original Assassin's Creed game. Not sure why, as I already had it. And this one also had a collector's edition, which is still in its box. I only took the game out. It's the Assassin's Creed Revelation Animus edition, and this features the game, the Animus box, an encyclopedia, the video game, and the soundtrack, of course, and in-game content. Now let me get this open. Because I only took it out one time to get the game out of the big box. I don't really know how this works. As you can see here, maybe you can see it. It says Animus Edition. You take this little top off, and I've put a PSN card in it just to fill up the space. And here is the big encyclopedia. And I'm not sure where the soundtrack is. But basically this is an entire encyclopedia for Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood and Revelations. And I'm going to show you a couple of pages. I'm not going to show it all. Here are some weapons, as it's quite a big book. It has 255 pages. Here are a couple of characters. Or armor, I should say. It has the history of the Templar Order, the history of the Assassins Order, a lot of artwork, Animus avatars, basically the multiplayer characters, of course, drawings of the Hidden Blade, hidden blades from the old days and new days. It basically has everything. Info on the first civilization, which is featured heavily in the games. Locations like Solomon's Temple, Subject Sistine, Desmond Miles, everybody. It's a good read, and I'm gonna put it back for now. Where did I put the top? Anyway, I'm gonna put it aside for now. And then we are done with the Italian European era, and we get into colonial America with Assassin's Creed 3. That one also had a big collector's edition called the Freedom Edition, which I have over here, and things on top. I have all the extra art books and things like that in the Codex edition, but I just got them out for you guys, just to show them along with the games. Here is the back of the box with Connor on top with the title Rise. And this one had the collector's box, figurine of Connor and George Washington's notebook. And I've got the game I just showed you. I also got the steelbook somewhere around here. Here it is. The steelbook. I am using the normal game case. The steelbooks are kept elsewhere, separate from their games. And here we have a little look at George Washington's notebook. So, with a lot of text, a couple of nice images, sceneries, enemies, things like that. And of course it also features some lithographs. This is one of them, and here is the other. Put them back in the envelope and carry on. Next we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag, or Assassin's Creed 4 if you prefer. This one has the upgrade to the PS4 version, so I decided to get the PS3 and upgrade for €10 to the PS4. And as always, that one had a collector's edition too, and we got it over here. It was called the Buccaneer edition. Just like a wooden crate. And there's nothing inside anymore, as the figurine is outside of the box. This one had the soundtrack, art book, lithographs, Captain Edward Kenway's figurine, and of course the game itself. And I will show you the figurine in a moment. So let's see the art book from Black Flag. Browse through it a bit. As you can hear, it's still intact and never browsed to, so I didn't have the ability to do some unboxings then. Here's the ship, ship and environments. Nicely done art book. Of course, the game soundtrack with some shanties, and of course the main title, and the rest of the soundtrack. And again, Edward Kenway lithographs. Here's one of Kenway himself, and another of the Jackdaw, the ship you use. And here we have one of the latest Assassin's Creed titles, Assassin's Creed Rogue for the PS3. These came out in pairs. You had Unity for the PS4 and Xbox One, and Rogue for the Xbox 360 and PS3. And that one also had a collector's edition, which is this one, the Rogue collector's edition. Let's get it out of there. Just had this lovely collector's edition box, and everything is still in there. I'm gonna get it out right now. I did an unboxing for this one, so you can check that out if you want. I'll leave the link in the description. We have the game soundtrack, a little art book where I'm gonna show you a couple of things. Here is Shay, the protagonist. Here are a couple of more characters, environments. It says that this is New York, but as I said in my unboxing, this looks like a typical Dutch street. What I think happened is that this is built in the time that New York was still occupied by the Dutch, and it was called New Amsterdam. Basically, these houses are seen all over Holland. Let's see. And then we have a couple of more lithographs. 3 this time, as this collector's edition didn't feature any figurine. And I'm gonna turn this one like this. That were the lithographs. And then we have one game / collector's edition left to do. And that is Assassin's Creed Unity. And I'm going to get it out of the cabinet, as I forgot to pick this one up. Here we have it, Assassin's Creed Unity for the PS4. And we have the Notre Dame edition for that one. And I also had an unboxing video for this, which I'll leave a link in the description. Here's the back, the gargoyle on the sides. And this had the 2 lithographs, art book, and official game soundtrack with Arno gargoyle figure from approximately 40 centimeters high. And I already took that one out, but the rest is still in there. There's a secret drawer here, which had the game and of course the collectibles which were in the game. And let me show you guys. Okay, that's nothing. Here is the soundtrack, the leather-bound Unity art book with the new crossbow type hidden blade, ghost blade I think it's called, Notre Dame, Agli in her young and adult form, and of course a couple environments. And then we have the last couple of lithographs, and this one you just seen Notre Dame. So those were the collector's edition and the games. I'm gonna get the figures out now, so just give me a minute and I'll be back to give you the... So here I am back again with the collectibles, and I'm gonna grab the first one right now. I think this one is before. No, this one is the first one, featured in the white edition of Assassin's Creed 2. It's Ezio, and it's really lovely. Nice real detail. And we have two more Ezios. I've got this. Oh wait, this one is from Assassin's Creed 2, and this one is from Brotherhood. I'm really sorry about that. The bit of confusion. As there he has a beard, and here he has no beard. So this is the first one. And then we have Ezio from Revelations. These are the Ubisoft collectibles. They weren't featured in the collector's editions, as they only done that from 3 and onwards. And speaking of 3, I got Connor here. This is the one that was featured in the collector's edition, the Freedom edition from Assassin's Creed 3. As you can see, the attention to detail from Ubisoft is amazing. You can see his face and the tomahawk here, hidden blade in the other hand, along with the flag here on the pole. And I had a mate of mine who had the same flag, only the stars were only on one side, which made it unique. As I said, this one is lovely, but they also released one from Ubi Collectibles, which is this one. This is Connor in the tree with the bow and arrow. Also an amazing piece of work. The wood really looks like it's a tree, dead and withered. And you can see the attention to detail is again amazing, with pistols on his side, arrows on his back, hidden blades at the ready, and of course the bow and arrow in his hand, ready to shoot. Then came Assassin's Creed 4, which had the Buccaneer edition, and that had this character along with it. As you can see, he has nothing in his hands. There's supposed to be a sword there, but one time it fell down, as it's unstable when you put it down. It fell down and the sword broke, so it doesn't have the sword anymore, unfortunately. But I like the way it's climbing the mast with the rope and all, and of course the weathered Assassin's Creed pirate flag, which is amazing. And of course, again, look at the detail these guys put in their collectibles. That's why I have all of them, and I'm really happy with them. As you can see, they're just amazing. As I said, this one was a bit unstable, and they also made another edition. As you can see, this is just a plank, but they made a edition with the whole bow of the ship, and it was approximately half a meter long. Let's put this back for a moment and grab the other two. These are from Ubisoft collectibles and they go together like a diorama. They are Kenway over here, the double pistol, and Blackbeard with the double sword. And they go back to back, which I will show you in a minute. They go like this. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit completely, so it looks a bit awkward. But I like what they did, and it just looks amazing together. I keep telling you guys the amount of detail on these badasses is enormous, and I really like them. And then we have the last Assassin's Creed. Here we have Arno on the gargoyle with the sword in his hand. And there's supposed to be a flag here, but I can't seem to keep it stuck in there. I got the flag here. I'll show you guys. It's supposed to go in his hand and a little hole in the ground over here, but it doesn't fit in the hole in the ground, so I'll keep the flag separate from it. It makes it a bit too long too. So here, look a bit at the details of this guy. Magnificent. And of course, Ubisoft wouldn't be Ubisoft if they didn't release a separate collectible set of Arno. And as with Blackbeard and Edward, he goes together with Elise in a diorama. Here is Arno, sword in his hand and a pistol behind his back. And here is Elise with a pistol and a sword in her hand. And these two also go together, as I said, but in a different way than Blackbeard and Kenway. They are supposed to make a standoff against each other. I won't say why this is, as it would spoil a bit of the stories, but these ones are also amazing. And then I got one last, as I started this episode of my collection with the saying that I missed the collector's edition of Assassin's Creed 1. So I had to buy this separate. This is Altair, the legendary assassin, on the bell tower, with a great attention to detail, with the hidden blades, swords, knife, throwing knives here on his back. Of course, a lot of pouches, and of course the bell with the real chains here. It's an amazing piece of work, and just the detail again is absolutely stunning. Then I have one more left to show you guys. It's not from Ubisoft itself, it's from the McFarlane Toys line. So it's basically an action figure, but it's the only female assassin up till date, and I didn't have her. This is Aveline de Grandpré from Assassin's Creed Liberation on the PS Vita, or Liberation HD on PS3 and Xbox 360. So those were all my collectibles. I really hope you enjoyed watching this episode of my collection. As I said, Bioshock is also online in my description. Keep an eye out on that, and I will see you guys in my next video.